top Russian hypersonic expert accused of giving secrets to China. The US cancels $200 million grant to CCP-linked battery maker. House Committee on CCP recommends actions to protect Taiwan and Uighurs. China rejects alleged spying on Western critical infrastructure.
Arrested the director of a leading science institute for alleged treason, along with 2 other experts. He is charged with providing hypersonic missile technology secrets to the Chinese Communist Party. Reuters reported that Alexander Shiplyuk, head of Siberia's Kriklyanovic Institute of Theoretical and Applied Mechanics, is accused of providing top-secret material at a scientific conference in China in 2017. Sources told Reuters that Shiplyuk denied the accusation, saying the information was not classified and available online. Shiplyuk was reportedly arrested in August in Novosibirsk, Siberia, and has been held at Moscow's infamous Lefortovo prison since then. His arrest followed the arrest of Anatoly Maslov, a respected ITAM physicist, in late June. Both individuals had been working on projects related to hypersonic aircraft. In April, Valery Zhivenskysev, another ITAM staff member and the founder of the hypersonic lab led by Shiplyuk, was also detained. However, his arrest remained undisclosed until ITAM scientists released an open letter expressing support for their 3 colleagues. They raised concern over the negative impact on scientific research caused by these arrests. These cases and previous treason-related arrests indicate that Moscow is determined to protect its technological advantage, despite the growing reliance on Beijing for political and trade support since the invasion of Ukraine 15 months ago. Last month, Russia's parliament voted to increase the maximum penalty for treason to life imprisonment, and there are ongoing efforts to tighten access to state secrets. For example, the trials of Shiplyuk, Maslov, and Zhivensky are classified as top secret and will be held behind closed doors. In March, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency warned that the CCP has dramatically advanced its development of conventional and nuclear-armed hypersonic missile technologies and capabilities through intense, focused investment, development, testing, and deployments. In August 2021, the Chinese regime successfully tested a nuclear-capable low-orbit hypersonic missile. On May 23rd, a Chinese science journal claimed that computer simulations demonstrated the capability of China's hypersonic missiles to evade U.S. defenses and destroy an entire carrier battle group. President Joe Biden's administration canceled a $200 million grant it initially intended to award to a Chinese Communist Party-linked lithium-ion battery maker following criticism from lawmakers. Last year, the Department of Energy selected Microvast to receive the federal grant, part of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021. The funds aim to reduce America's dependence on China for critical supplies such as lithium-ion batteries. Despite Microvast maintaining a significant portion of its operations in China, it was chosen as one of the 20 companies to receive the grant. Microvast is owned by the holdings company Microvast Holdings Incorporated, which acknowledged in a filing to the Securities and Exchange Commission that a substantial portion of its facilities are located in China. In February, lawmakers questioned the Energy Secretary about why Microvast was selected for the funding, given its ties to the Chinese Communist Party. They asked Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm if the goal of this funding is to reduce U.S. dependence on foreign entities for critical minerals. Why would DOE award funding to a company with obvious ties to the CCP? Consequently, the Biden administration announced a review of the $200 million grant, and on May 22nd, the administration announced that it decided to cancel Microvast funding. Lawmakers welcomed the decision. The chairman of the House of Science, Space, and Technology Committee, Frank Lucas, called it a victory for American taxpayers and business. He said, "These funds are intended to strengthen America's battery production and supply chain, not to tighten China's stranglehold on these supplies." The Chinese Foreign Ministry opposed the decision on its state-controlled media, Global Times. John Barrasso, ranking member of the Senate Energy Committee, called on the U.S. to immediately reject other applicants with similar ties. The Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party on May 24th approved 2 reports aiming to prevent inhumane behaviors by the CCP. The first report suggests ways to push back the CCP's treatment of Uighurs and other ethnic minorities. The second one seeks to deter the force ruling China from invading Taiwan. Containing, deterring, and repelling the CCP's regime ambitions is one of the few issues that often receives near absolute consensus among bipartisan congressmen in the U.S. House of Representatives. The Select Committee on the CCP does not write laws but makes policy recommendations. However, according to Reuters, there is hope that some of the committee's recommendations will become law this year. The U.S. has long argued that the CCP is carrying out a campaign of genocide against the Uighurs and other ethnic minorities in the Xinjiang region. Human rights groups accuse the CCP regime of abuses, including forced labor and the detention of at least 1 million Uyghurs in concentration camps in Xinjiang. The first report's recommendations include imposing sanctions on Chinese technology companies found to be involved in genocide and strengthening law enforcement on the import of Chinese goods produced by Uyghur forced labor. The committee's chairman, Republican Representative Mike Gallagher, said, "Let's send a bipartisan message that Congress will stand up to genocide, the crime above all crimes." The second report makes several policy recommendations for Taiwan, including improving joint training between the U.S. and Taiwan militaries, speeding up the supply of weapons to the island, and strengthening U.S. bases in the region. Representative Raja Krishnamurthy said, "The people of Taiwan deserve to live in peace and free from threats and intimidation." Beijing has denied charges that its spies are penetrating vital Western infrastructure, labeling the joint alert by the U.S. and its allies a collective disinformation campaign. Reuters reported on May 24 that Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning gave the rejection. According to Mao Ning, the warnings issued by the U.S., Britain, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand aim to promote their intelligence alliance, known as the Five Eyes. Besides, Ning said it was Washington that was guilty of hacking. The response follows a series of warnings issued by the Five Eyes nations and major U.S. tech firm Microsoft Corp about the activities of the Chinese hacking group Volt Typhoon. Analysts said although Chinese spies have been operating on lines against the U.S. and its allies for a long time, Volt Typhoon has raised particular concerns since it has focused on critical infrastructure, including communication links between the U.S. and the Pacific. The group's emphasis on stealthiness is also drawing attention. SecureWorks, a cybersecurity company, said it has responded to at least 3 Volt Typhoon hacks and described the group as working consistently to hide its tracks. The company also backed Western assessments of the group's origins, claiming that the hacker group, nicknamed Bronze Silhouette, probably operates on behalf of Beijing. SecureWorks, a division of Dell Technologies, said that Chinese spies were upping their game in response to likely increased pressure from Chinese leadership to avoid public scrutiny of its cyber espionage activity.